What happens when the person sworn to protect the public harbors unspeakable fantasies of violence and control? Gilberto Valle, known as the Cannibal Cop, was a New York City police officer whose arrest in 2012 exposed a dark double life. Valle's story is not just one of personal dissent, but also a chilling example of how the internet can foster the most disturbing of desires. His case captivated and horrified the public, raising questions about the boundaries between thought and intent and the hidden darkness within seemingly ordinary people. Gilberto Valle was born on April 14th, 1984, and raised in Queens, New York, in what appeared to be a stable and supportive family environment. A graduate of Archbishop Malloy High School, Valle showed no outward signs of trouble during his formative years. He went on to attend the University of Maryland, where he studied criminal justice, a degree that would eventually lead him to his dream job with the New York Police Department. In 2006, Valle joined the NYPD, fulfilling his ambition to serve and protect his community. Friends and colleagues described him as dependable, quiet, and professional, an officer who seemed to embody the ideals of law enforcement. But as investigators would later reveal, Valle's public persona was a stark contrast to his private life. Valle's descent into infamy began when he discovered Dark Fetish Net, an online forum where users shared disturbing fantasies involving abduction, torture, and murder. Over time, Valle became an active participant, spending hours engaging with like-minded individuals. He used the site to create and share detailed scenarios involving the abduction, torture, and cannibalism of women. These posts weren't mere abstractions. They included photographs of real women, some of whom Valle knew personally. He also compiled files on these women, including their names, addresses, schedules, and physical descriptions. This level of specificity turned his fantasies into a chilling threat, blurring the line between thought and action. What made Valle's case even more disturbing was his access to sensitive police resources. Investigators discovered that Valle had used his position as an NYPD officer to access confidential databases, gathering information on potential victims. Among those he targeted were former classmates, colleagues, and even his wife. Valle described in graphic detail how he planned to kidnap, torture, and eventually kill his victims. His fantasies often included methods of preparation and cooking, with shocking discussions of recipes for human flesh. Valle's activities went unnoticed for years as he managed to compartmentalize his dark desires from his daily life as a husband, father, and police officer. The case broke wide open in 2012 when Valle's wife, Kathleen Mangan, discovered his activities. While using the family computer, she stumbled upon his disturbing online chats and the detailed files he had compiled on women. Horrified, Mangan left their home with their infant daughter and contacted the FBI. The subsequent investigation revealed the full extent of Valle's activities. Agents seized Valle's computer and found a treasure trove of incriminating evidence, including save chats, photographs, and the detailed files he had created. This evidence painted a disturbing picture of premeditation and intent. Valle's arrest in October 2012 sent shockwaves through the NYPD and the wider community. Here was a man sworn to protect the public, now accused of plotting some of the most heinous crimes imaginable. The trial that followed was equally sensational as prosecutors and defense attorneys debated the critical question: were Valle's activities a harmless expression of fantasy, or were they a precursor to real violence? Prosecutors argued that Valle's actions went far beyond idle imagination. They highlighted his use of police databases, the meticulous planning evident in his files, and the chilling specificity of his online discussions. Valle's defense team countered by asserting that his activities were purely fantasy, protected under the First Amendment. They emphasized that no physical harm had occurred and that Valle had never acted on his plans. The trial delved deep into the darkest corners of Valle's psyche. Jurors listened to his graphic chats, where he discussed plans to kidnap, cook, and eat women, often in collaboration with other users on dark FetishNet. One particularly chilling exchange involved Valle describing how he would roast a woman over an open flame. The evidence was overwhelming, and in 2013, Valle was convicted of conspiracy to commit kidnapping. He faced life in prison, and his conviction seemed to close the chapter on a case that had horrified the nation. However, in a dramatic turn of events, Valle's conviction was overturned in 2014. A federal judge ruled that while Valle's fantasies were deeply disturbing, they did not constitute a crime. The judge argued that there was no evidence Valle had taken concrete steps to act on his plans, and that his online activities were protected speech under the First Amendment. This decision sparked widespread debate about the boundaries of free speech, the risks posed by individuals like Valle, and the challenges of prosecuting cases based on intent rather than action. The fallout from the case was profound. Valle's release reignited public fears and questions about his true intentions. Was he genuinely harmless, or was he merely waiting for the right moment to act? The case also highlighted the dark corners of the internet, where communities like dark FetishNet thrive and provide platforms for dangerous fantasies. Forensic psychologists weighed in, describing Valle as a deeply disturbed individual whose fantasies reflected a need for control and dominance. While he may not have acted on his desires, the specificity of his plans suggested a disturbing level of premeditation. Gilberto Valle's story is a chilling reminder of the duality that can exist within individuals and the complexities of prosecuting crimes in the digital age. It raises haunting questions. How do we differentiate between fantasy and intent? At what point should law enforcement intervene to prevent potential harm? And how do we reconcile the image of a devoted father and police officer with the darkness revealed in Valle's private life? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more chilling true crime stories.